How's it? Today is Friday, October 27th. I don't feel like I am deloading. Today was an interesting day. I woke up very early. I woke up at like 5 something. Not because I wanted to wake up that early, but because I felt hungry. So I decided to eat my overnight oats. That's usually what I eat for breakfast. That's what I've been doing for over a year at this point. I really, really like it. It's one of the things that I look forward to in the morning. It's probably the only thing I look forward to in the morning. But given it was that early, I was like, okay, like I can get ready and go to the gym at like 7:30. And that's not what I did. If you know anything about me, I'm not really a morning person, and I was not at the gym until very late. I went back to sleep because I was cold. It was like 40 something this morning, which is pretty cold, pretty atypical, at least in the last couple weeks. And I ended up waking up at 12:30. This was like naturally waking up. And then I was like, oh shit, I gotta go to the gym. And so I rushed over to the gym. I got there at like, I don't know, like 12:50. Basically started lifting at 1-ish. I had to do all my warm-ups and everything. And luckily today was kind of in line with a deload, quote unquote. It's just 85 snatch for a few singles and then 110 clean and jerk for a few singles. But given that low amount of time, you can see here I did all of my warm-ups all in one set, which I don't normally do for snatches, but I have in the past. Is to really save some time. So this is a 6-minute set, I think, that I did 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. And none of the reps were very good, but I felt very warm afterwards. And then after that, I actually did my 85s, my 5 singles at 85, essentially in one set. And that was fun. Not That's sarcastic. That was not fun. I honestly, I've been kind of really harping on it lately about trying to have better technique and all these things, but today was one of those days where I could not focus on my technique. I could not afford to focus on my technique just based on the amount of time I had. And that's not a good sign as far as quality lifting goes, but it is pretty light. I'm not saying that I couldn't miss these weights, but I didn't miss anything today, so that was a positive. So you can see here, I kept it all in one video. And yeah, I mean, some of these are good, some of these are not good. A lot of it's just really sloppy. Like I figured out, okay, I'm just gonna make the lift. What am I gonna do to make the lift? I don't know. I'm just gonna try my best to kind of lock my shoulders in at the start and then hold the bar in my forearms, kind of curl my wrists. And that's all I was thinking about. And so some of the extensions are so bad, and it just is not a good look if I'm looking at my consistency and all these things that I pride myself on, and being a consistent lifter with my technique being pretty good. I think this fourth rep was the best one that I did. And then after that, I moved into clean and jerks. Same thing with the warm-ups. I've done the clean and jerk warm-ups much more like this in the past, where I do all of the warm-ups. Usually I do 60 and then 100 and then go to 120 or something. But today is 60, 100, and then 110. So I was debating on whether or not I should do the 110 for all of them in one set, but then I was like, I don't think I can do that. So I rested a little bit between each of the sets, not as much as would have been warranted, I think, if I were a heavier weight, but because it's only 110, it's not too much of a struggle. I didn't miss any of the lifts. It is worth noting, this is the first time I'm putting on my belt here. It's the first time I used my belt in this training block. I haven't used it at all for anything, for squats, for cleans, for front squats, none of it. And today was the first time I used it. I think it made the lifting a lot easier. It feels a little bit weird because I haven't been practicing with it, but it still feels a little bit familiar. Yeah, so here's my first set at 110. Still with my belt on. The weights move at extension really quickly, but kind of the squat portion of it, the push-up portion of it is not very good. And I don't know, I mean, I would imagine that is related to me rushing and also not sleeping super well. I don't want to blame it on that, but until I figure out a way to kind of manage my time a little bit better, I can't say that for sure that it's not that, you know, because I think my nutrition's pretty good. Aside from everything else, what else is there? Like I have been training a lot, and I've been doing a lot of high volume, which I've really not done in the past. But I've also lifted much heavier than this in the past. Oh, I'm lightheaded here. I think this clean and jerk. So these cleans are a little bit easier towards the end, 4 and 5, because I'm trying to focus on keeping my wrist curled. But this jerk here, I think, was the best jerk. Nope, that was not it. Maybe it's the fifth one. Maybe it was that one. I don't remember. How can I claim to remember? Today went by so quickly. I think I was in and out of the gym in 80 minutes, which is usually not the case. Yeah, this clean was much more like fundamentally sound than the others. I felt like I had proper tension on the bar. Yeah, this jerk was the best jerk by far. That dip felt really good, and I made them all. You know, nothing to complain about as far as misses go. After that, I did my front squats here. Just work up to a heavy set of 1. My coach said that it doesn't really matter if I go heavy today, and he said no down sets. So guess what I did? I did everything all in 1 set because I didn't have time. I needed to get out of the gym by 2 o'clock. It was probably 2:03, 2:04 but at the time when I started this. So I was like, all right, like I gotta go, gotta move, gotta go quick, squat, whatever, you know, 60 and 100, my warm-ups here, and then 120 as my last warm-up. It's great to know that my lower back hasn't given me issues today. Like the left side of my lower back was giving me a lot of issues on the end of Wednesday, right? Like I don't even remember on the back squat stuff, but none of that was present today in any capacity. So 120 is my last warm up, and then I was like, okay, am I gonna do 130 or am I gonna do 140? So I put on my big boy pants. I had my belt on, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do 140. And this boy was heavy, but I did make it, and I am really happy that I was still able to do it, even though I didn't rest between any of these warm ups. That's all I did today. I didn't have time to do any accessories for abs or anything, so I'll have to jump on that tomorrow. But that's it. Like today was such a struggle, such a big rush of time and everything. And yeah, I hope to be better next week. I will plan to be better next week. Thank you for watching. Shoots.